So here's a memorable studio moment. Peter Kane, manager, was managing the X-Ecutioners at the time. And they had a project they were working on, and they wanted a remix, right? So I was in New York, and Pete hit me, and he's like, yo, you here? Come down to D&D and, play me some stuff. I'm looking for a remix, for the X-Ecutioners. So I put a CD together. Back then, you did the beat tapes. And I knew my way down to D&D. We would always go there in the late night sessions every now and then. So I go down to D&D, and I call Pete, and I'm like, yo, I'm downstairs. He comes downstairs and grabs me, takes me upstairs, and, we talk, chop it up, and we go to a part of D&D that I never went in. We usually go in D&D and go to like another way, to like a main studio, but we went down some sort of corridor and hallway, and I'm like, okay, I've never been in this part. And then we open the door, and Pete just walks in, and then I walk in. I walk in, it's the DJ Premier session. So I walk in, the first thing, I see Premier right there, and I never met Premier, but Pete doesn't know that. So when I walk in the room, Premier turns around, Eddie Sancho is over there, and then all the music stops, like, and everybody's looking at me, and I'm like, just standing there. And then Pete catches on to it, and he's like, oh, y'all don't know each other? And then he does the proper introduction, and it was all good. But that was one memorable moment for me, because it was like, yo, this is crazy, I had been hearing his music so much. I had never really been in a session with him. The X-Ecutioners was there, Premier was there, and I was just like a fly on the wall that day. That was definitely one memorable studio moment. So I got a chance to submit this remix for the X-Ecutioners. Peter Kane reached out to me. He had reached out to a lot of other producers, and he just happened to be in this session when he reached out to me and called me to come down to the sessions, which was, to me, was like the greatest place to drop off a beat tape. So Eddie Sancho is DJ Premier's engineer, was engineering the session, was doing a lot of the work on the equipment that was in the room. And actually, that's one good thing that I could take away, because the relationship between the producer and the engineer, you can feel the level of, these guys have worked together all the time. It was like he knew what move to make before, ahead of time. That was one really good thing. And another good thing was the level of perfectionist. When I walked into the room and DJ Premier was doing the cuts for a song that he was doing for the X-Ecutioners, to me, the cuts were sounding great, but, to Premier, he knew what he was looking for, the way they should sound, the way the cuts should be, and everything. And I just thought that was like, man, that level of knowing what you want and striving for that perfection, and it translates into the music. Like, things may sound right to you, or they may sound right to me, but the producer sometimes knows. They're like, no, we need to do it again. And you're thinking in your mind, like, yo, that was perfect. But they're hearing something that you don't hear, and just that level of being able to be confident and knowing what you want, and knowing that you can get it from the equipment, or you can get it from the music, you can get it from the studio, the sound, just knowing that you can get it and knowing what it is and not being satisfied until you get it was something that I was like, yo, that was dope to really be there.